Welcome to Break Free to Brilliance podcast, empowering women in business through thought provoking interviews and insights. Embrace your authentic power, explore the impact of your story, and discover how writing your best selling book can amplify your message, authority, and the three I's: impact, influence, and income. Let each episode guide you towards brilliance in minutes. This is your host, Seema Giri. Welcome to another amazing episode of Break Free to Brilliance podcast. This is your friend Seema Giri, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I am really excited to talk to you about 10 ways to expand your visibility. As entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, business owners, however we identify ourselves, at the end of the day, we are business owners and we need visibility. Most of us have gone into entrepreneurship because we've overcome some major life challenges and now we want to give back, pay it forward, and help others save potentially 15 to 20 years of struggle, of hardship in their life, and showing them the way, the path to cross a bridge to the other side where you can create the life that you want. And we may not always be comfortable with visibility. Most of us are not used to having the limelight shine on us, and it takes a little bit of practice to get comfortable with that. And let me tell you, my friends, the sooner that you can do that, the better it is, because the more people get to know you, the more they get to see you, the more you build the know, like, trust factor, the better your business is going to be, and the more people you will be able to serve, which is, I know, deep in your heart, that is exactly what you want to do. So I'm excited to share with you the 10 ways to expand your visibility, the same framework, the same 10 things that I have implemented in my own business. And, to tell you, it has been a journey for me to get comfortable being visible. I have been an extreme introvert most of my life growing up and really shy and so quiet that people would forget that I'm even around. I remember one time we had this carpool where we got dropped off at the high school. And in my high school in New Jersey, we had two buildings. One was the 910 building and the other was 1112 building. And I was a sophomore, so I needed to be dropped off at the 910 building. And the other girls that were carpooling with, they were juniors and they got dropped off at the 1112 building. Well, one morning we were going and the other girls were talking away the whole time and I was very quiet. The father of my friend forgot to drop me off first because I was so quiet. And when he went straight to the 1112 building, dropped them off, and looked over to the right, and there I was sitting quietly. And he's like, "Wait a minute, you're here too? I didn't hear you, so I forgot you were here." So I went from that state to being comfortable doing public speaking and doing podcasts, doing interviews. So it is possible for you to get there. It just takes a little bit of practice. So, the first one is that you really need to have clarity on what your mission is and what your message is. And also, who are you serving? Who are your ideal clients? When you have a clear idea of these three things, your mission, your message, and who you're serving, it really becomes a foundation to create your content, to create your programs and your marketing copy. Everything that you do, all your advertisements, if you do advertisements, your social media postings, everything is going to be based on these three things. So, number two is choose the visibility platforms that you are comfortable with and where your ideal clients hang out. You really need to know where they are, where do they go for information, where do they go for help, and where do they like to go for entertainment. When you know these three things, then it's easier for you to get their attention. And hopefully it's a platform that you like as well. So when I say platforms, I talk about social media, I mean about the podcasts I listen to, the webinars, networking, referrals, and even speaking. Those are platforms. You can use multiple platforms, but don't get overwhelmed. Don't try everything at once, because you know what that means. When you try too many things, you probably won't do anything. So choose a couple that make sense to you, that are comfortable for you, that you enjoy, and that's also where your ideal clients are. The third one is to be consistent. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you enough how important this one critical thing is. And I've had trouble myself, I have to be honest, in being consistent. See, consistency means that you are regular, you show up, and people can count on you. It gives you traction, you get recognition as your thought leader, and they know that, every day they're going to see something from you, and that helps you build influence and the know, like, trust factor. Think about it yourself. Who do you like to do business with? People that you know, like, and trust. So this consistency is really key to helping you build that. Number 4 is to have some kind of a program or a session where they can get an overview of what you do. What I do is that I have free 1-hour programs for my sales mastery class called Supercharge Your Sales Success, and for my book writing program, Write, Publish, Monetize. It's a 1-hour overview of what you can expect when you join me in these programs. They get to spend some time with me, we get to chat, I get to learn more about them, and we build that influence and the know, like, trust factor. And it's a way to start building relationship with them. And number 5 is to speak on stages, whether it's your own stage or whether it's other people's stage, whether it's virtual or whether it's live. And speaking on Facebook Live also counts because you're out there. But if you speak as a speaker on other people's stages, for example, you can be speaking with people that share the same audience with you. So it's really important for you to try to speak at least 4 times a month. I know that might sound a little bit too much, but it can be formal, it can be informal. You can speak in other people's Facebook groups, you can be the subject matter expert, you can speak in other people's stages, but get comfortable speaking, because this way you're getting your message out there and you're getting the visibility. Number 6 is being a podcast guest. Podcast is really flourishing right now. There's, I think, over 600,000 podcasts last time I checked the stats. And people are really enjoying this and listening to it. They listen to it while they're walking, while they're grocery shopping, while they're on their car. So being a guest on the shows that have your ideal clients is a great way to get your message out and be visible. Your ideal clients they prefer different methods of getting information. So if you can do multiple kinds of things, like some are visual, some are auditory, some like to read information. So if you cover these different areas, you will be reaching more of your ideal client. And of course, number 7 is going to be the traditional way of networking. You can now network online, you can expand and have a global reach, and you can also do locally within your community or within your town and meet people live. And number 8 is having power partners. Power partners, I call, are those that have similar audience as yours, but they have different offerings. That's a great way to expand your visibility, and it builds instant credibility because they already know, like, and trust those power partners. You can also partner up with your clients that really love you. They are your fans, and you can speak to their groups. They already know, like, and trust you. They can introduce you to people that within their communities, and that's another way to expand your visibility. And number 9, I love my mentor, Katarina Rando, says this, is to be loud and proud. You need to be really own your value that you bring and really showcase that through your passion, through your enthusiasm, and your expertise, right? You need to wear your cape. CAPE stands for C is for certainty, knowing that you have massive value. authenticity, lead with your heart. P is for positivity, always be uplifting. And E is for enthusiasm. And that is really contagious. And last but not least, you need to make sure that you schedule time for self care. From a person who has been bedridden and just working nonstop, I can tell you this is the most critical part of all. And this is probably something that should be number one. You need to schedule a time on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis where you have scheduled in self care. What self care does is helps you release all the tension and stress and rejuvenate your cells and replenish you with energy. You need this so you can show up really powerfully so that you can show your value the way you were meant to, because it is your time to shine and you can't shine without rest. So let me know, what do you do to expand your visibility, and what are you going to do next to help you expand even more? I hope you got some great gems from this session today, and I would love to hear from you. What are you going to implement next? Until next time, this is Seema Giri. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Break Free to Brilliance podcast, and I hope you had some key takeaways that you can implement right away. Be sure to subscribe to Break Free to Brilliance wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow along with us on social media using the links in the show notes below.